The Dallas Cowboys have been a staple in the NFL for decades, and under the ownership of Jerry Jones, they have consistently been one of the most talked about franchises in the league. Jones, an enigmatic figure, has seen his share of criticism over the years, with many questioning his decisions, especially regarding the team's front office and coaching staff. But what cannot be denied is his ability to keep the Cowboys in the conversation, year in and year out, as a team that's always in contention, even if they don't always manage to capture that elusive Super Bowl title. For the past several seasons, the Cowboys have had a solid roster, with a mixture of veteran talent and youthful potential. But it's hard to shake the feeling that they're always just a few steps away from truly taking the next leap. They've had impressive players, a well-respected defense, and a powerful offense, but the postseason success always seems to elude them. It's a frustration that fans know all too well. This year feels like it could be different, though, as the Cowboys have been making moves in the offseason that could change their fortunes. Jerry Jones's leadership has always been a point of contention. While some argue that his business acumen is unparalleled, others point to his tendency to interfere with the football side of things as a detractor. The biggest question surrounding him in recent years has been his refusal to let go of his control over the team, especially in terms of player acquisition and coaching decisions. It's no secret that Jones has had his fingers in the pie of nearly every decision the Cowboys have made. But some fans wonder if that's the root of their postseason failures. The draft decisions, the free agent signings, and even the coaching staff, it all comes back to Jones's leadership. His influence is undeniable, but is it hindering the Cowboys' ability to get over the hump? One of the more recent moves that has raised eyebrows is the selection of cornerback Jordan Hancock in the NFL draft. For years, the Cowboys have been searching for that elusive defensive piece to push them over the edge. They've had great players at multiple positions, but the cornerback spot has always felt like a weak link in their defense. With this draft pick, there's hope that Hancock could be the one to fill that gap. The team has been active in trying to improve their defense, particularly in the secondary, where they've struggled to keep up with some of the league's top quarterbacks and wide receivers. Hancock's addition to the roster is a sign that the Cowboys are committed to improving their defense, and it could be the missing piece they've been searching for. He's a player with a ton of potential, and if he can develop into the player the Cowboys believe he can be, the team could have one of the top defensive backfields in the league. Of course, the question remains, can the Cowboys finally break through in the postseason? It's not enough to just have a strong roster. They need to find a way to win when it matters most. And that's been the problem for the Cowboys for nearly 3 decades now. While the Cowboys have struggled in the playoffs, the Mavericks, on the other hand, have had their own set of challenges. Nico Harrison, the team's general manager, has found himself under intense scrutiny in recent years. The Mavericks were once a team with championship aspirations, led by one of the greatest players the NBA has ever seen in Dirk Nowitzki. But after Nowitzki's retirement, the team has struggled to maintain that level of success. Luka Doncic is a superstar in every sense of the word, but even he can't carry a team on his own. The Mavericks' front office decisions have been called into question, particularly when it comes to roster construction and player acquisition. It feels as though Nico Harrison has been unable to put the right pieces around Doncic to make the Mavericks a true contender in the Western Conference. There have been several questionable moves, including the trade for Kristaps Porzingis, which ultimately didn't work out as hoped. Harrison's inability to find consistent, complementary pieces for Doncic has left the Mavericks in a bit of a no-man's land, stuck between being a fringe playoff team and a potential championship contender. Much like Jerry Jones with the Cowboys, Nico Harrison's role as the head of the Mavericks basketball operations is critical to the team's success. However, Harrison's decisions have not yet yielded the results that fans were hoping for. While there is potential with Luka Doncic, the franchise has yet to prove it can surround him with enough talent to compete for an NBA championship. The Mavericks' struggles have brought a lot of questions to the forefront, and it remains to be seen if Harrison can right the ship. What both teams need is leadership and a clear vision for the future. Jerry Jones and Nico Harrison are at the helm of their respective teams, and their decisions will determine the trajectory of these franchises. For the Cowboys, The question is whether or not they can finally overcome the playoff demons that have haunted them for so long. With a solid defense and a promising roster, they have the pieces to make a deep postseason run. But can they put it all together when it counts? For the Mavericks, the challenge is building a championship contender around Luka Doncic. The future is bright, but it's up to Harrison to make the right moves and build a team that can compete for an NBA title. As we look ahead, the Cowboys and Mavericks are both at crossroads. The decisions made by their front offices will shape the future of these teams, and the pressure is on Jerry Jones and Nico Harrison to deliver. For the Cowboys, the goal is simple: win a Super Bowl. For the Mavericks, it's to build a championship contender around Doncic. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the clock is ticking. As the Dallas Cowboys continue to chase the elusive Super Bowl title, the pressure mounts each season. The team has gone through its fair share of ups and downs over the past 2 decades, but one thing remains constant: the high expectations. It's a challenge that every player, coach, and front office executive knows all too well. For Jerry Jones, the challenge is personal. He's been the driving force behind the Cowboys' success and failure alike, and he's determined to see his team lift another Lombardi trophy before his time in the NFL is up. In recent years, the Cowboys' defense has been one of the most improved units in the league. The addition of playmakers like Micah Parsons has transformed the defensive side of the ball, giving the Cowboys one of the most dynamic defenses in the NFL. Parsons, in particular, has become a cornerstone of the team's defense, a player who can disrupt offenses with his ability to rush the passer, cover in space, and create turnovers. He's an absolute game changer, and the Cowboys have leaned heavily on his talents to carry their defense to new heights. But while the defense has improved, it's been the offense that has kept the team from taking the next step. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys' starting quarterback, has had his fair share of criticism over the years. When he's on, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. But too often, he's been inconsistent in big moments, particularly in the postseason. Prescott's inability to take the team to the next level has been a frustrating issue for Cowboys fans, and it's something that Jerry Jones and the coaching staff have struggled. This brings us to the ongoing debate about the future of the Cowboys at the quarterback position. While Prescott has shown flashes of brilliance, the question remains: is he the guy who can lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl? With the rise of other quarterbacks in the NFC, it's a question that's becoming harder to ignore. As the Cowboys look to the future, the possibility of bringing in another quarterback, whether through the draft or free agency, has been discussed. For now, however, they'll continue to put their faith in Prescott, hoping that he can elevate his game when it matters most. At the same time, the Cowboys front office continues to focus on building around Prescott and improving the team's overall roster. The addition of key pieces like cornerback Jordan Hancock and defensive lineman Motzie Smith shows that the team is committed to making sure their defense is strong enough to compete with the best in the league. But even with these improvements, it's clear that the team's success hinges on Prescott's development as a quarterback. The Cowboys need him to take the next step to become the leader they know he can be. If that happens, there's no reason why this team can't make a deep playoff run. For the Mavericks, the situation is different, but no less critical. Luka Doncic is the franchise cornerstone, and everything the team does revolves around him. There's no question that Doncic is one of the most talented players in the NBA today. His ability to score, pass, and rebound is unparalleled, and he's proven time and time again that he can carry the Mavericks on his back. But as with the Cowboys and Prescott, the challenge for the Mavericks is finding the right pieces to complement their superstar. The team has struggled to build a contender around Doncic, and while the front office has made some moves, they haven't yet been able to put together a roster that can compete with the top teams in the Western Conference. In many ways, the Maverick situation mirrors the Cowboys' struggle. Doncic is a generational talent, but talent alone isn't enough to win championships. Just like Prescott needs to step up for the Cowboys, Doncic needs help to elevate his game and take the Mavericks to the next level. It's been clear for some time now that the team's lack of depth and supporting cast has been their biggest obstacle. The Mavericks have made moves to bring in pieces like Kristaps Porzingis, but those trades haven't quite worked out as planned. Porzingis was expected to be a second star, but injuries and inconsistency have limited his impact. As a result, Doncic has continued to carry the load, with little help around him. Nico Harrison, the Mavericks general manager, knows that the time is now to build a championship contender around Doncic. He's made some solid moves, but it's clear that more work needs to be done. The question is, who will be the next piece to join Doncic in Dallas? The Mavericks have been linked to a number of potential trade targets, but finding the right fit has proven to be a difficult task. The team's future success hinges on Harrison's ability to build the right supporting cast around Doncic, and there's no time to waste. The Mavericks can't afford to waste the prime years of their superstar's career. Looking ahead, both the Cowboys and Mavericks find themselves in critical positions. For the Cowboys, the goal is clear: win a Super Bowl, something that has eluded them for over 2 decades. They have the talent to compete, but they need Dak Prescott to step up and deliver when it counts. The team's defense is strong, and with new additions to the roster, they're more equipped than ever to make a deep playoff run. But it's all about execution, and that falls on the shoulders of Prescott. For the Mavericks, the focus is on building a contender around Luka Doncic. The team has the superstar, but they need to surround him with the right pieces if they want to compete for an NBA title. Nico Harrison has his work cut out for him, but there's still hope for the future. Both teams have a lot at stake, and their respective futures will depend on how they navigate the challenges ahead. The pressure is on, and the stakes are high. Only time will tell if they can rise to the occasion and fulfill the dreams of their passionate fan bases. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, star running back Derrick has officially signed a 3-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. The acquisition of the powerhouse from the Tennessee Titans marks a significant shift in the Cowboys' offensive strategy as they aim to bolster their running game and create a more balanced attack heading into the upcoming season. Henry, who has been one of the most dominant running backs in the league for the past several years, joins a Cowboys team that already boasts a strong offensive line and a capable quarterback in Dak Prescott. With his blend of size, power, and speed, Henry is expected to become the focal point of the Dallas rushing attack, a role he's thrived in during his time in Tennessee. Over the last few seasons, he has cemented his reputation as a physical force, known for breaking tackles and racking up enormous yardage. The move also comes at a crucial time for the Cowboys, who are looking to make a deep playoff run after years of underachievement in the postseason. Henry's presence in the backfield is expected to ease some of the pressure on Prescott, who has often had to carry the offense with his arm. A reliable ground game will give the Cowboys more flexibility in their offensive play, calling, and potentially take some of the burden off Prescott's shoulders. One of the most compelling aspects of the signing is how it fits into the larger landscape of the NFC East. The Cowboys, who finished second in the division last season, now have a formidable weapon to challenge their divisional rivals. With teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants continuing to build competitive rosters, the addition of Henry gives Dallas a serious advantage in terms of offensive firepower. Henry's decision to join the Cowboys also signals a new chapter in his career. After spending the entirety of his career with the Titans, he will be stepping into a new role in a new system. While many anticipated that he would remain with Tennessee, the Cowboys presented an opportunity to chase a Super Bowl title, something Henry has yet to achieve in his storied career. The Cowboys, with their strong roster and championship aspirations, are in prime position to contend for a title, and Henry will undoubtedly be a key piece in their quest for glory. The signing has already generated significant excitement among Cowboys fans, who are eager to see Henry's dominant style of play in Dallas. The Cowboys have long been known for their legendary running backs, and now, with Henry in the fold, they hope to add another chapter to their rich history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.